Hi, and I'm Intet, and this is the fourth week of reflection for the Challenge Lab. And this week's lecture, we talked about cognitive biases. And the first thing I want to talk about is overconfidence. Like, I liked how the lecturer mentioned that actually people seek overconfidence, but then I start to think like, when we talk about overconfidence in a normal context, it's actually like a bad thing, right? But then, if you think of it from an entrepreneurial point of view, everybody goes into business thinking that they will succeed, even though looking at the chances of the statistics, that's they most likely won't. But this overconfidence is still being sought out by investors and by people in general, because otherwise, who would actually like start going out and start starting businesses if the chances are already so low? It's because we think that even though it's 2% is for the general public, we want to be part of the 2%. For us, it's higher, and that overconfidence, is the necessary portion of it. So my question is like, what is the point? What is the point where you take a step back? What is the point where you're being too optimistic? And when to be realistic? What's the fine balance point between those two? That's the issue. The second thing that I really stuck to me was about discipline, and it's just like not procrastinating and having a discipline to start, but also having the discipline to know when to stop. And the thing about having discipline to stop, this is very interesting. But this is not the topic that is being discussed normally. It's usually about entrepreneurship. You must start now. You must start right now. But nobody really talks about like, hey, when should you stop and give up? There's always this stigma, like knowing when to stop is like giving up. But actually, no. If you've lost enough, or like if you draw the line from the beginning, if we reach that line and we stop, I don't wouldn't consider that giving up. I consider that cutting this option and moving on to the next one. I'd rather be labeled as a person who gives up than to just hold on to something that will not work. Because I'd rather spend my time to move on to something that could work. Yeah, so that's my thoughts for this week.